We're talking soil health now with Jason Warren. Jason, we're in a soil pit that you've dug in your research area. What is this showing and telling you when you look at the soil?
Well, this pit is dissecting a plot where we've been growing continuous wheat versus continuous wheat with a cover crop in the summer fallow period. And so we've cover cropped this field every summer except this one for 4 years, and then we fallowed it last winter to plant this milo crop. And so what I wanted to do was dig a pit and see what we could see. And one of the most evident things is on this side with the cover, you'll see a few more root, a little bit more root material on this side versus that side. And then if we look real close, we can see that this is underneath the residue particularly. It's very granular, it just breaks apart very readily. And a lot of guys, you know, well, let's look down into the pit, and yeah, you can see a little bit more root growth down here, about 8 inches, but most of what I see from my efforts to improve the soil condition is in this top 6 inches, or top 2 inches or so, and that's improved aggregate stability and essentially the protection of that soil surface against the harmful influences of rain beating down on it. Because like I say, it's nice and soft and granular, and it breaks apart real nice. And now this over here is in really good condition because this hasn't been tilled in 5 or 6 years, but it's a little more bare. It doesn't have quite as much root growth in it, and you do tend to get these larger aggregates that break apart, but they do still have a lot of evidence of biological activity in them. And lastly, I just point out, you know, we cover crop this in a continuous wheat and or wheat canola rotation and saw no benefit of having the cover crop on the wheat crop, whether it would be nitrogen improvements or weed suppression or disease or insects. But milo, we have had data from other locations where milo will positively respond to improvements in the soil's condition. And so that's why we fallowed it and are now growing milo, because in a hopes to pull the value that we see in this soil into the grain cart.
Is that the next stage of your research then?
Yeah, and again, we're searching to try to figure out some of the things that we're talking about with respect to soil health, because what our experience has been is if we can develop and maintain a nice profitable crop rotation in our no-till systems, we can really do amazing things, particularly with summer crops. We don't get a lot of yield benefit in our wheat, but for milo, you know, we can increase our milo yields from improving the soil character by, you know, 10, 20, 30% in some cases. And this is established research from Stillwater and Lahoma. And that's why we're trying to find out what these long-term or 4-year treatments have done to the soil, and now what it will do to the milo yields.
Impressive numbers, Jason. We'll see you again soon. Thank you.